Hello my dear students, welcome to our channel Rajesh Biology, and this is Rajesh, MSc Zoology. Today I am going to teach about blood clotting mechanism or coagulation process, which is also known as hemostasis. Hemo means blood and stasis means standing. We already know about the homeostasis, but hemostasis is different from homeostasis. Homeostasis means maintaining the constant internal environment, but the hemostasis is arresting or stopping the hemorrhage or block the bleeding. Okay, right. Before going to know about the blood clotting, I want to give some definition about the clotting. Actually, blood coagulation is the property of plasma, not RBC, not WBC. Okay, it is not the property of blood. It is completely a pure property of plasma. That means blood clotting doesn't need any RBC and WBC, but most of the blood clots are in red in color. Why? You can get this. You can get the answer for this question at the end of the video. Right. These are the three different mechanisms for a blood clot: vasoconstriction, platelet plug formation, and a web of fibrin proteins. Formation of web of fibrin proteins. These three different mechanisms. These three are different mechanisms but overlapping mechanisms. అంటే వన్ బై వన్ జరుగుతాయి అన్నమాట. దే అక్కర్ వన్ బై వన్ అండ్ they occur depending upon the size of injury. Whenever our vascular system or blood vessels are injured, for example, when we cut vegetables, accidentally we may cut our fingers also sometimes. Most of the BPC students may cut their fingers during sectional cutting or root or stem. Okay, section cutting చేస్తున్నప్పుడు కానీ ఇంట్లో వెజిటబుల్స్ కట్ చేస్తున్నప్పుడు కానీ they may cut their fingers. At that time, at that situation, so much of blood may come out from our finger. After some time, after few minutes, the clot will be formed. How? There are three different stages. First one, vasoconstriction. Vasoconstriction will lead by smooth muscles which are present in the walls of the blood vessels. The blood vessel wall have smooth muscles, and that muscles constrict, and they constrict with the help of by the stimulation of vasoconstrictors. You already know about the vasoconstrictor, that is serotonin and bradykinin. Okay, they are the secretions of mast cells, which we already learn in our first year zoology. Mast cell secretions, serotonin, bradykinin, all these are vasoconstrictors, and they release from the mast cells. They come at to the site of injury, and they constrict the smooth muscles. So whenever the muscle is contracted, the flow of blood is stopped or reduced. This is vasoconstriction. But here, very important step is the secretion of vasoconstrictors activators, like this. It is purely a local phenomenon. There is no need to stimulation from our central nervous system. Okay, and ఇది కంప్లీట్గా లోకల్ ఫినామినన్. అక్కడే ఉన్న మజిల్స్ అవి కంట్రాక్ట్ అవుతాయి. ద మజిల్స్ విచ్ ఆర్ ప్రెసెంట్ ఎట్ ద సైట్ ఆఫ్ ఇంజురీ దే కంట్రాక్ట్. ఓకే, అండ్ వెన్ బ్లడ్ వెజల్స్ ఆర్ డ్యామేజ్డ్, ద స్మూత్ మజిల్స్ ఇన్ ఇట్స్ వాల్ కంట్రాక్ట్. హియర్ దిస్ ఈస్ యువర్ బ్లడ్ వెజిల్, and the wall of the blood vessel have collagen fibers. Whenever the injury is formed, blood comes out through that gap. When blood comes out, that blood exposed to the collagen fibers. Whenever blood exposed to the collagen fibers, there is a factor actually in blood, and that factor have two hands, left and right hands. It is for just example only. That factor have left and right hands. That left hand always binds with the collagen fibers. When left hand is activated, the right hand is exposed. Clear? So whenever the left hand is activated, the right hand is exposed for the binding of platelet. This is the actual mechanism of that mediator, of that bridge. Okay, right. So when blood passes or move from that block or from that injury site, that blood is exposed to the collagen fibers, and that factor binds with the collagen, and the factor releases its right hand to bind with platelet. Whenever it binds with the platelets release some secretions, and the secretions stimulate the mast cells and the endothelium layer. Okay, endothelium layer also stimulated. The endothelium layer releases endothelin, which is also act as a vasoconstrictor, and platelet release some secretions, and the secretions stimulate the mast cells. Serotonin also released. Serotonin also helps in vasoconstriction. Clear. This is about the vasoconstriction. Whenever the blood vessel is constricted, the hemorrhage may reduce, may not be stopped completely, but it reduced. Second step is platelet plug formation. Platelet plug formed after the vasoconstriction, like this. Here there is a hemorrhage, there is an injury to this blood vessel, and the smooth muscles also try to constrict. Here there is a factor, and that factor binds with the platelet. Platelet attached with the endothelial collagen fibers, and platelets release some factors for the vasoconstriction, and platelets release other factors known as ADP, adenosine diphosphate, and thromboxane A2. These two are very, very important to stimulate other platelets to bind with this remaining platelets which are already attached with the endothelium, which are already attached with the injury site. Clear? The platelets are attached with the collagen fibers, and whenever the collagen fibers are bind with the platelets are activated, and activated platelets release some messages to the remaining platelets as please come to this site, here there is injury, you have to bind with me to block the blood hemorrhage, to reduce the hemorrhage you have to bind with me and చెప్పి they release some messengers, and that messengers are known as ADP and thromboxane A2, adenosine diphosphate and thromboxane A2. These two messengers give message to the remaining platelets and call all the platelets to the site of injury, and they adhere one by one to each one, and they put a plug at the injury, and that plug is known as platelet plug. This is second step. This is the three stages. First, what will happen? Injury to the blood vessel and damage of endothelium. Whenever endothelium is damaged, the collagen fibers are exposed to the blood. Okay, von Willebrand factor. This is the bridge actually. It has two hands. One hand for attach with the collagen, and other hand bind with the platelets. Okay, whenever the platelets are bind with the collagen fibers with the help of von Willebrand factor, the platelets release three things. First, serotonin secretion, and serotonin helps in vasoconstriction. Second one, secretion of ADP and thromboxane. It helps in put platelet plug at the site of injury, and very, very important, it leads to formation of prothrombin activator. This is the very, very important and crucial step in blood clotting. It is the actual blood clot, blood coagulation process. It involves so many factors, and that factors are known as coagulation factors or blood clotting factors. There are nearly 13 factors are there. Fibrinogen, prothrombin, thromboplastin, calcium, proaxelerin, proconvertin, antihemophilic factor A, Christmas factor, start power factor, plasma thromboplastin antecedent, Hedman's factor, and fibrin stabilizing factor. To remember all these factors in a order, I just create, sorry, it is already created one, a simple code, that is freshers party today. Come on, let's sing and call seniors, please have fun. This is the code to remember all these factors in a order. If you observe carefully, you can observe the factor sixth factor is absent here. 1 2 3 4 5 and the next seventh, because it is not no longer referred. Right, come to the factors. Here it is very important, label factor. This is freshers, fibrinogen, party, prothrombin, you already know this, thromboplastin today. Okay, in this proaxelerin or label factor is very important, and 10th factor, start power factor, is also very important for the activation of prothrombin activator. And whenever the prothrombin activator is activated, that prothrombin activator, the name itself indicates its nature. It activates the prothrombin into thrombin. Whenever the thrombin is formed, the thrombin convert the fibrinogen into fibrin, and that fibrin is stabilized by the fibrin stabilizing factor. These three are very important. And here it is very interesting fact. Actually, the names of the blood clotting factors are created by either scientist names or by the action of the or function of the factor. But the Christmas factor is different. It is named after the patient in whom the factor is discovered. Christmas is the patient name. Right. And calcium, it is very important for blood clotting mechanism. All the actions are done in the presence of calcium only. This is fourth factor. These factors are very important. And prothrombin, it must be converted into thrombin. Pro indicates its inactive form. Fibrinogen also its inactive form. Okay, prothrombin converted into thrombin, and thrombin converts the fibrinogen into fibrin. So these are the different factors. All factors are worked in a cascade mechanism. Cascade mechanism means it is a chain. It is a chain reaction. That means 1 activates the 2, 2 activates the 3, 3 activates the 4, 4 activates the 5. This is one chain. As like that, 5 is the ultimate anukunte. If 5 is the ultimate, this is the one cascade. And another cascade, A activates B, B activates C, C activates D, D activates the 5. It is another mechanism. Or star activates the hash, hash activates the oblique, oblique activates the exclamatory mark, and that exclamatory mark activates the 5. This is another chain mechanism. So it is known as cascade. All these factors work in a cascade manner. Right. Coagulation of blood include 3 main stages. That means it is under blood clotting. First one is formation of prothrombin activator. It is the first step. And second step, the prothrombin activator convert the prothrombin into thrombin. That is second step. And then next, the thrombin converts the fibrinogen into fibrin. Fibrin is nothing but monomers which form a meshwork, that is clot. So these are the 3 different main functions. One by one we will see that functions. Right. Prothrombin activator. Prothrombin activator will be formed into different ways. First one is intrinsic pathway and second one is extrinsic pathway. I'll explain it carefully. Listen carefully. Okay, if you think it is a blood vessel, it is the blood vessel and this is blood, and that yellow color things are platelets. Okay, whenever the injury, for example, this is injury, this is the injurious site, blood vessel is ruptured here. So all the platelets come to this area and bind with the collagen fibers, and whenever the platelets attach with the collagen, the platelets are activated. Platelets can capable to secrete so many things. They secrete serotonin like vasoconstrictors, and adenosine diphosphate like messengers, and they release a special message thromboxane A2 will stimulate the other factors also, and platelet stimulate the, it activates the factor 12 whenever the blood vessel is injured. Okay, this is the first step in intrinsic pathway. The formation of prothrombin activator is initiated by the platelets which are within the blood itself, and it activates the factor 12. If prothrombin activator is formed in this way, it is known as intrinsic pathway. When come to the extrinsic pathway, there is a blood vessel like this. If it is a blood vessel, it is a tissue. This is tissue. Okay, and the arrow, ఒక ఎవరైనా బాణం వేసాను అనుకుంటే కనుక ఆ యారో ఇక్కడ దిగింది. The tissue is damaged. The damaged tissue release thromboplastin, which is formed in injured tissue. The thromboplastin activates the factor 7, and factor 7 in turn activates the prothrombin activator. This type of pathway is known as extrinsic pathway because it is formed outside the blood vessel. It is extrinsic pathway. So prothrombin activator formed in two different pathways: intrinsic within the blood vessel or extrinsic out of the blood vessel. In intrinsic pathway, factor 12 is activated first. In extrinsic pathway, factor 7 will activate first. Okay, so this is the intrinsic and extrinsic pathways. Simple, and observe carefully. Endothelial damage will occur and the collagen is exposed to the platelets. Whenever the platelets are exposed to the collagen fibers, they release phospholipids, and phospholipids also influence the prothrombin activator. It is a cascade mechanism. And second step, with the help of some kallikrein or kinogen or the factors which are present in the blood, but it is not essential for intermediate. Okay, endothelial damage influences the activation of factor 12. 12 is activated in active form to active form, and then next, that active 12th factor activates the 11th factor, and 11th factor activates the 9th factor in the presence of calcium. 9th factor activates the 10th factor in the presence of calcium, and 8th factor. So all the factors are included during prothrombin activation. Okay, the 10th factor, which is in inactive form, is converted into its active form, and it forms the prothrombin activator in the presence of 5th factor. So this is intrinsic pathway. It is known as cascade mechanism. One factor influences the other factor. 12, 11, 9, 10. In this method, the 4th factor is very essential. It is nothing but calcium. And 5th factor, Liebel factor, is also very important for the activation of prothrombin activator. Clear up to here? Now, next, extrinsic pathway. In extrinsic pathway, tissue trauma or tissue thromboplastin, that means when tissue is damaged, the tissue thromboplastin is released, and tissue thromboplastin have glycoprotein and phospholipid, which is very important, phospholipid, and that phospholipid can directly activate the prothrombin activator in the presence of calcium and Liebel factor. And of course, the glycoprotein influences the 10th factor in active form converted into active. The 10th is converted or initiated the prothrombin activator. So 10th factor is very important, and 10th factor, activated 10th factor can create prothrombin activator in the presence of factor 5, Liebel factor. So this is the first step. And second step, whenever the prothrombin activator is activated, that prothrombin activator convert the inactive prothrombin into active thrombin. This is the second step. when thrombin is formed, it gives positive feedback. That means it influences its activation, auto activation. Thrombin can stimulate the formation of prothrombin activator. It is positive feedback. The thrombin activates the prothrombin activator. Whenever more prothrombin activators are formed, the prothrombin activator converts the remaining prothrombins into thrombins, and thrombin convert the fibrinogen A, that means inactive form, into its active form, fibrin actually. Okay, loose strands of fibrin, polymerization will occur, and fibrin monomers are formed. All fibrin monomers are like this fibers. All fibers are form a meshwork. Blood cells, for example, these are the blood cells which are in okay, these are the blood cells. They arrested within the gaps. That gaps are formed by the fibrin monomers, and automatically they fill that gaps, so blood clot will be formed. This is the mechanism. But the fibrin monomers are formed, the meshwork is formed by the loose hydrogen bonds, and the factor 13 and calcium convert the hydrogen bonds into covalent bonds. That is known as fibrin stabilizing factor. It stabilizes the hydrogen bonds with covalent bonds. So a tight blood clot will be formed. This is formation of blood clotting. And activation of prothrombin. The prothrombin activator, in this presence of sufficient amounts of calcium ions, causes the conversion of inactive prothrombin into active thrombin. Calcium ions are very essential. Next, soluble fibrinogen is converted into insoluble fibrin. The thrombin converts the soluble protein fibrinogen into insoluble fibrin monomers, which are held together by weak hydrogen bonds. The fibrin stabilizing factor replaces the hydrogen bonds with covalent bonds. So this is blood clotting. And there is clot retraction. Clot retraction means within few minutes after clot formed, it being contracted, because the platelets in the cytoplasm of platelets, there are some contractiles, muscles. Okay, they can contract. So platelets contract together, so that the fluid is expelled out. Whenever the clot is constricted or contracted, from that clot a fluid, a pale yellow color fluid is come out, and that fluid is known as serum. Serum is nothing but plasma without fibrinogen. You have to know this. Blood means formed elements and plasma. Plasma means blood without formed elements. Serum means plasma without fibrinogen. So serum plus fibrinogen is equal to plasma. Plasma plus blood cells is equal to blood. Clear? So this is a blood clot formation. This is the injury, and these are the platelet cells. When platelet cells are exposed to the collagen fibers, they may first vasoconstriction will occur. After that, platelet plug will be formed, and then next series of chemical reactions, physiological reactions will occur within the blood. Intrinsic pathway and extrinsic pathway promote the prothrombin activator. Once the prothrombin activator is formed, the prothrombin activator converts the prothrombin into thrombin, and the thrombin stimulate its prothrombin activator, plus it can participate in fibrinogen reaction also. Thrombin convert the fibrinogen into fibrin, and fibrin monomers form a net or meshwork like structure. This is the meshwork, and blood cells are arrested within the meshwork. So clot, in most of the clots, blood clots are in red in color because of RBC are arrested within that meshwork. So here is your answer. Why most of the clots are red in color? There is no reaction of RBC in formation of blood clot, but they arrested within the fibrin monomer meshworks. So clot is red in color most of the clots. Thank you.